Vicky here from Retro Queen Bee Art. Let's be busy in art. Please click the like button and subscribe to get notified of more videos. Get ready, this video is about painting circles and marks and marks. The video idea is related to Art by Marlene Advent 2024 done by artjournallove. Go visit her channel. Merry Christmas. This is Trust the Process. Trust the process. So what I do is I begin with painting red circles onto Canson, which is Canson, extra large watercolor paper that's 140 pound. My motto for this video is to go with the flow. Go with the flow. So I'm improving my paint circles with adding more paint so it'll be a brighter red. And I add orange, and then I added yellow. Very bright colors. Here I'm adding a turquoise green color. You want to add all different kinds of colors to your circles. I need to dry with a hair dryer between adding more circles. I didn't want the paint to rub off. And sometimes my circles were a little wonky. But in the end, it was okay if they're wonky. At first, I wasn't sure if they should be wonky circles. And so that's why I'm saying, trust the process. I had to really trust the process in doing this exercise that was created by artjournallove. Although her circles and stuff, it's different because we are two different artists. And no artist can make something the same as the other artist. It's really impossible. And I'm just painting freehand and adding more colors around my circles. If you're not familiar with colors, you may want to use a color wheel. It could help you in adding complementary colors and contrast colors. I'm going to try to keep some of my background white as much as possible. I just lost a lot of recording of my video that when I'm speaking, I had an alarm go off in my phone telling me I ate a little bit more sugar than I should have. I know it's Christmas season, right? You kind of eat a little more sugar. And so anyway, but I'm fine. Hopefully the critical bell will not happen again. Anyway, this is a process of just believing, like trust the process, go with the flow. I will be adding just with various acrylic paint colors to these circles. I add purple, yellow, orange, red. I think that's what I end up at. And pink. And then a greenish color as well. It's more like a turquoise green. There's a lot of discipline to painting these circles. And I haven't painted this particular project before, and so it is a new project for me. And maybe my circles, I could like just do it with one stroke of the brush, but I'm not good at that. So I ended up putting more heavier paint on in little bits around the circle. And to my eye, it looked better like this. Now, of course, you could do a practice sheet, and you could practice making circles and circles with one brush stroke and put the amount of paint that you would need. You would have to practice to get the feel of how much paint would be on the paintbrush to go around in one full circle. But I tried that in the beginning, and I didn't get the full red color that I wanted, and so then I decided I need to do it more of a littler stroke, and so that's what I decided to do. Here I'm just adding some boxes, abnormal shapes to the center of the circles, just to break it up. And I've added some pink, and I'm going to add more purple here. I just keep adding these colors until I feel like the circle is complete and the colors are contrasting and complementing. You can use your color wheel to figure out the colors that you want to use, and just use your acrylic paint you have on hand. You don't need to buy anything. But it is a fun exercise to do. This would be fun for a pocket too, in a junk journal. Pretty circles with all kinds of marks. I think it would be kind of a cool pocket. Although I'm hanging this up on my pink Christmas tree. This is one side of the painting, and I have a different painting on the other side. So this is part 1 video, and then part 2 video will be the other painting on the other side, and then I glue them together, and then they become an ornament for my Christmas tree. I just poke a hole, add a ribbon, adding more orange. wow. Wowie wow, I am thinking to myself, these circles are wild. And then I just decide, well, I'm going to add more red to this circle to even make it more wild. My paintbrush is just a cheapo paintbrush with a smaller tip. And it does have a round tip on it though. Now this particular brush has a flat tip, I see. Or maybe I had a flat tip instead, or maybe I used both. I'm not sure. I'm thinking, when I recorded the video, I think, oh, I'm going to remember everything. But you know what? I think that is a small square tip, so I can use the side of it, and then I can use it flat. So that's the type of brush I'm using. But it is a cheap brush. I don't have any. It's a knockoff brush that I probably bought at Michael's at some point in time. I don't have an expensive acrylic brush set. Now my watercolors, when I paint watercolors, I use special watercolor brushes, and they were more expensive. But the brush I'm using here for acrylic paint is not. All right, now I'm going to use the stencil, and I'm taping off because I just want to use some of the flowers, and I don't want the other stencil cutouts to get in my way. So that's what you can do, is you can stencil out with tape what you want to use. And there I made a little boo-boo, so I'm getting a baby wipe and trying to get that off, and it comes off. Shoo! So I was surprised when I put the flowers on the circles. They really did look good. Now I'm just tapping acrylic paint that's not liquid. It's more of an opaque paint, so that it won't seep under the stencil. And before I picked up the paint, I watered the sponges. Well, I just soaked the sponges in water, and then I drained the sponge, and then I picked it up with the paint, and then I'm just dabbing it onto the stencil. So you tap, 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 tap. And I was so surprised how they came out. And then I'm pointing there because I'm thinking, I need one there too, I think. Finally, I do it. Because I'm at a 1, 2, 3. Well, that'll be 3 one side, 3 on the other side. But I think I was counting 5. But that looks better. So I'm using my Posca pins. They are a smaller Posca pin, smaller tip, and you'll see me use them for my markings. So I use a yellow Posca pin to mark between the leaf, and then a black Posca pin to outline the leaf. And I used the same colors, purple, pink, greenish, yellow, red. I used the same Posca color pens as the paint. And the Posca pins are 0.7 mm tip. I laid all my colors that I was going to use on the side. Here's a green I'm going to use. I'm just adding some color inside the leaf just to try to make it look a little more dimensional. Of the flower, I want it to stand out. And sometimes I went over like 2 or 3 times with my Posca pen to really get a good showing of the outline. It was fun taking these flowers and doing marks in them and creating these 3-dimensional kinds of flowers that were on the circles. So I get my pink. I think before I use my Posca pens, I dap them on paper so that I won't have big globs come out, or maybe I need to shake them. And then if I thought the Posca pen was wet and I didn't want to smear it, I would use the hairdryer. This is a white one. This really pops things out. Making the center. I'm deciding what color yellow here. Testing the pen on paper to make sure I do not get any clumps. And I think the flowers are coming out so cute. Making the center of this flower pop out. Did I finish all my flowers? Oh, maybe I have one more to do. Adding yellow. And then I add Posca around the circles. There I got a piece of hair that kind of messed me up. But then I thought, oh, that's okay. I'll just have a thicker line there. And I'm kind of making a scribble lines. So they're not perfect. But I do go around all the circles in black. And they're kind of a scribbly line. And sometimes, well, I think all the times I did it twice. Went around twice. So there you can see my sheet of paper that I'm testing the Posca pens on before I use them on my painting. This one, I might even be trying writing. I'm not sure, the yellow, because I wanted to make marks. And for me to make marks with Posca pens, I don't want big blobs of paint coming out. So I have to prepare it on paper before I use it. And I'm doing an upside down heart here around this circle. And I did practice a little bit. I made about like 3 or 4 hearts before I did them in my circle, just to make sure I could do them. Then I get another pin out. This is let me see, what kind of pin is this? Let me get it. It's right here by me. It's the micron pin. It's 08. It's archival ink. And so I thought I would go around with that as well. Then I took some more, I went around with the archival ink pen pretty much all around on every circle. And then I decided to add more doodles, dots, and some more straight lines, dots and straight lines, scribbles, circles, and just using different colors of Posca pen. This is a white. And on the circles, I did have to paint them twice to have them show up on top of the layer of this paint. I turned this card all different ways because I can't figure out how else to do it, to where I need to do things and what's missing. Adding white doodle lines, then I add some more dots, white dots around. I like the white, kind of brings out all the coloring. And you can see the black lines that are the round lines edging the circle that come out, making it look like a flower. That is done by the micron pen. And I'm just adding more doodles. More doodles. These are just like sewing stitches. And I'm thinking, okay, how many kinds of doodles do I know that are coming out of my brain? Looking, any more doodles? And I find some. I can add some stitches in this purple. Then I thought I would add some black leaves, but it turned out okay. But I'm not sure why I want, the Art Journal Love, she added some extra black in 3 corners of leaves from the stencil, and I thought I would try it. It looked good on hers, and I wanted it to look good on mine. I had to work with it a little bit though to make it look good, to add some leaves that would just pop out. And so you can't really see them, can you? A little bit. It was really hard for me to see them. And then I thought, I don't like this one. Can I take some of this out And then I decided to erase as much as possible because I just didn't like it. And so I'm pointing over there to show you that there is some stencil marks over there. And then I thought, well, did I really need that? Because I have so much black around my circles. And then a couple of the circles, I made little hoops like flowers. But then I took black and my little pen, a little tiny paintbrush. And I thought, oh, I'm going to fix it. So you can see where I added the little leaf and a couple black leaves there around that circle. Then I decided to go in gold. Oh, this is my favorite gold pen. Let me see if I have it around me. Yes. It's highlight pen. It's Geth pen, GETHPEN, and it's gold. It's a 1 mm tip. Beautiful gold comes out of it. Just silk is like silk. So I wanted to add gold in mine. And so you just see me adding it here and there. And then where I added those little black leaves, I decided to make them look gold in the center. And so that's what I did. And see, they stood out more that way with the gold in the center. And then I really like that. And so I'm adding some more gold to the stems of that particular black one. And then I go to this one that I made. And see, you can see them. The gold behind the back. I'm getting close to the end. I need to put a sediment. And of course, the sediment I'm going to place on this is trust the process. Because this was hard to do, right? There's so many colors and so many doodles. And I put in there, trust the process. So I'll remember how I felt. And I wanted to dry it all. And then I just used my crocodile, put a hole in the center and put a pretty ribbon of gold to hang it on my Christmas tree. Thank you for watching.